Today I'm talking to you about knowing what you want. The bar, this thing you're chasing, this comparison you are always operating out of, and you aren't even clear on what you are trying to achieve, what you are trying to do, where you are trying to go, but you still continue to operate out of this state of not enough, where it just doesn't feel like enough. First, you need to slow down. Once you actually slow down and you step out of the race you are constantly running, the race you are running that you don't even know what the race is, constantly chasing, constantly going to the next thing blindlessly, nothing feeling like enough. You must slow down first. When you slow down and you get quiet, you create the space for clarity to sink in. You create the space for stillness. I understand how hard it can be and how our whole life, our worth has been tied to the things we do and these external outputs. And that's how we've gained our worth and our value. But if that is the foundation of the value you see within yourself, you will constantly be chasing it, constantly looking outside of yourself to see, am I okay here? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Constantly weighing others' opinions more than you value your own opinion within yourself, which comes from the relationship with God, the all-knowing, the only one you need to seek, the only one you need to ask questions to, the only one you need to truly build a relationship with, and everything else will come from that. And I wish I knew this before. I wish I knew this before I put myself through so much struggle. I put my body in the state of fear, in the state of lack, of needing. I wish I knew the one relationship that mattered most, and that is your relationship with God. Not what other people say a relationship with God looks like. Your unique relationship with God and what that means to you. Because if you allow others to tell you what that relationship means, it's not your relationship. Just another thing you've been programmed to believe, another thing that's been programmed in your life to be set up and feel a certain way. And you lose the ability for real expansion, for real growth, for a real, genuine, clear connection where there's no veil, there's nothing in between all of this and all of you. But you're running the race, you're so caught up in all of this day-to-day mumbo jumbo that society has normalized. Now, I understand there's things we need to handle in today's world. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying run from this life by any means. But you need to figure out what actually matters to you. Because if you don't, if you don't, you will continue to look outside of yourself. You will continue to project all of these voids onto others. You will begin to apply this pressure to other people that you are applying to yourself. Therefore, projecting this pain within here onto others. What should you do then? Everyone comes to this realization and builds a different relationship with God, with this higher power, with this oneness, with this abundance of love and this source, this creator. So that is for you to play around with. That is for you to build a relationship with. Just like I wouldn't set up my romantic relationship with my partner the same way you would. I cannot give you a clear fits-all method that just magically you follow A through Z, everything will be okay. That's just not the reality of any of this. The reality is, the more present you are in your life, the more clear things will be, the more real things will feel. You will be immersed in this experience deeper, and you will be able to make more aligned decisions out of that presence. But if you're continuing to run on the wheel, you won't even have the time or the space to get out of it and make a clear decision for where you are actually going. That's why you must slow down. You must slow down. As you can tell, I'm just feeling very calm today, and energy comes and goes, and sometimes you feel different ways, and today I'm just feeling very calm. And this is what I wanted to bring forward to you, because I believe slowing down is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that's what a lot of people misunderstand is, and that's what I've misunderstood. I've tried to run fast, to run this imaginary race. And maybe I was making progress on this race. Maybe I was trending upwards in that race. But what was that race I was even running? What was this race I was putting all my time, energy, and attention into? What game was I even playing? Are you playing a game you truly care about? That is aligned with your relationship with God? Or are you playing a game society tells you you must play? You must fit in this certain box. You must show up a certain way. You must obtain these certain jobs and financial status and relationship status, and you must look like this. You must do these certain things. You must think a certain way. You must feel. People tell you how you must feel. Society tells you if you feel this way, if you think this way, something's wrong with you. That is for you in your relationship with God, and that is it. Figure out what actually matters to you. And I think that's where I've been at more and more lately as I slow down. And I've been going in this journey for years now, looking at myself in the mirror and asking myself, what actually matters to you? What are the things you truly care about enough to continue to put your energy into those things? And the more time I sit with that, an interesting thing happens. I care about more and more but the energy I put into certain things is less and less. It's not that I don't care about these people in my life and I don't care about all these human beings and where we are at as a society. I care more than ever. But where am I putting my time and energy? Who are the people in my life that I truly care about most, and I feel like I'm here to serve them? Cut the rest out. For me, it just keeps coming back to a few relationships in my life, and starting number one is my relationship with God. Continuing to spend time with God in silence, but also carrying that energy forward in my day-to-day life in the way I treat other people and the way I show up for myself. That's also spending time with God. That's also building a relationship with God. Just like if I was in a romantic relationship with my partner and we sat down and we had these amazing conversations where we were fully present with each other, everything felt good. We were talking about how we felt, maybe some things we're trying to come together stronger with in our relationship. Maybe some things that don't serve our relationship anymore that we need to let go of. But then I go back to acting the same way within that relationship. What would be the point of this conversation if it doesn't mean this as well? So that is something you need to also realize you don't have to realize anything. Something I've realized with my relationship with God is it's one thing to sit there and have these clear conversations. It's another thing to actually embody that and walk in that truth. My brother Ben talked about that earlier today. Just looking at the fruits. How do you actually show up? And all this stems back to what we started this conversation with, of slowing down. What actually matters to you? What do you actually want? Because if you don't know what you're shooting at, you don't know what the goal is, you don't know what a good shot is, you don't really know how you're supposed to show up for that situation. So that's why you must get clear on what game you're actually trying to play. Are you trying to play society's game? Are you still trying to play that game? How long do you want to play that game for? Do you want to play the game your parents tell you to play? That your friends tell you to play? Your family members? The internet? What game do you want to play? For me, I'm playing the game with God. That is it. I'm here building a relationship with God, and the rest of my life will be based off of that. If that means some uncomfortable things need to change in my life, and it might not be what Devin's ego always wants. It might not always be the easy thing. But that's not the game I'm trying to play. And once you get clear on what game you are trying to play, you'll stop training like a football player when you're a basketball player. You stop kicking the ball like a soccer player when you need to put it in the dang hoop. You're not even clear on the game you're playing. And I understand how hard that can be to get to that point. And I'm not saying you need to have it all figured out by any means. I'm not saying you're in a bad spot. I've went through a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of unknown to get to the point I'm at. There was years where I had no idea what game I was playing. And I was playing the game I needed to play at that time in my life. But that's not a game I could play any longer because it's not aligned with who I am now. But within that was a lot of pain, was a lot of questioning, was a lot of fear, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of weight, a lot of nights laying wide awake, questioning myself, questioning this life, what I'm doing here, why am I here, what's the point of all of this? Do I even want to be here anymore? I've been in all that for a long time before. And I make it sound simple when I say, what game are you playing? My number one thing is building a relationship with God. And I wish I could give you a clear set answer of this is exactly what you need to read. This is exactly how you need to act, how you need to show up. And just give you the clear blueprint. But that is not how it works, my friend. And if someone tells you that's how it works, you should probably actually sit with that first before you just completely attach yourself to that perspective and that identity. You need to grow a relationship with God. You need to grow a relation. What does God even mean to you? You need to define that. I can sit here and tell you what my relationship with God means, and you can try that on, but that doesn't mean it's your relationship with God. It's how yours is supposed to look and feel and sound, and how you're supposed to act in this life. It's not that straightforward, and that's kind of the whole point. Sometimes I wish it was that easy, that, God just said, here you go. This is it. You don't have to worry about anything. It's clear. This is what you do. But different moments will come up in your life, and you need to be present within those moments to make an aligned decision. And if you were just following this set blueprint, everyone would act the same. Everyone would feel the same. Everyone would show up the same way. There'd be no unique expression of God. God would lose. God would become dull. This would lose its flair, its light, its life, its energy behind it, its uniqueness. So slow down, listen, ask questions if you need to ask questions, not to other people, but to the all-knowing within you. And then actually be open to listening to those questions. Once you ask those clear questions and you receive these answers and guidance, you will get closer to building an understanding of what game you are trying to play. And from that understanding, it will make it easier for you to know who you are, how you want to show up, how you want to operate within society, the impact you want to have. And it will bring you into a place of calmness, of peace, of stillness within yourself. And out of that place, you can spread so much love through this world, so much light, so much presence that everyone craves to be with. Don't stress over where you're at right now, because that will only push it further away. It's almost a complete surrendering to exactly where you're at right here, right now. And out of that place, everything will arise. But first, you must get still and be able to sit right here. Thank you for listening.